we have a very special guest today. And before I start speaking about our guests, I want to tell you that Czechoslovakia, or what is today better Slovakia, and the Czech Republic were always very interesting places for me in Europe. Interesting because of its long, I think, democratic history. The Czech Republic, the Czech people in particular, are very hard workers, love freedom, have a very nice society with all kinds of privileges for the residents in the Czech Republic. But of course, I am a rabbi and I'm interested in particular about the Jewish community in the Czech Republic. So Violeta, whom we're going to meet in a couple of minutes, was very kind in giving me this booklet, sending me this booklet. It's Jewish Prague. And of course, if you went to school and you studied literature, you must know who Franz Kafka was. Here is a plaque of Franz Kafka, someplace, I don't know where exactly, in the Czech Republic. And of course, I also want you to see the tombstone of Franz Kafka that is in the Jewish cemetery. And I have it right here. This is the tombstone of Franz Kafka in the Jewish cemetery. Well, there's something called the Altneuschule, which actually, I read a little bit about it. There was an Alte Schule, there was an old synagogue, but that old synagogue somehow disappeared. They started a new one and they called it the Altneuschule. Very interesting fact that these days in New York, a brand new synagogue is called now Altneu. And why is it called Altneu? They want to signify that the old and the new are somehow going to meet together. Tradition is important and progress is important as well. But for us, the Jewish community in Prague is very important. If you go to Prague, you see the Charles Bridge. You know, Charles was an important king. I don't know much of the history. We're going to hear soon. I met several years ago, and now recently I met again, Violeta Corbelar. Violeta Corbelar is a lawyer, and she is very active in the Jewish community. And she is really the one that is going to tell us a little bit about the Jewish community, about how many Jews are there in Venice, in Prague, better, right now, Violeta. What do you think?
Yes, in this moment, 3,000 people. 3,000 people.
3,000 Jews. But I also read that half of the Czechs say they have no religion. And apparently there are many Jews that don't want to somehow manifest themselves or something like that. So who knows really how many Jews there are? You know,
before Second War, lived in Czech Republic 120,000 people. But during the Second War,
120,000 what? People or Jews?
Jews.
Okay.
And 80,000 were killed.
Oh my, 80,000 were killed. Wow. Oh. You know, Madeleine Albright, who was a former Secretary of State in the United States, just passed away. She was Czech, you know.
She was very often in Prague.
Yeah, the Czech Republic produced some very, very important people. Dvořák, you know, I like music too. There's so much that comes from the Czech. Tell me, what do you do in the Jewish community, Violeta? What do you do for them?
We are coming there. We are keep some very important svátky.
We do important holidays. We join.
Hold on. You are the niece, right? Your name is Nelinka Popuček. I don't know if I pronounced the name right, but there we are, more or less. I'm trying.
Yeah, yes. We go to celebrate important holidays like Hanukkah. There's this very nice tradition of lighting the menorah in front of a very nice museum. So it's like a very communal thing. And also an important factor of the Jewish community is the school that my sister attends.
Your sister goes to the Jewish school?
Yes.
What grade are you in?
In sixth.
Sixth grade. Elementary school?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. How old are you?
12.
Oh, well. Okay, that's the age for bat mitzvah, when you have to assume the obligations formally. Yes, go ahead, Nelinka, tell me.
Yeah, so that's a very important part. And also another important part of the Jewish quarter here in Prague is the Hagibor, which is a community social service, which provides service to all elderly people. So that's also a very big part of what the community does here.
They take care of
okay.
Of the elderly, yeah. So
Uh-huh.
that's also a part of the Jewish community here.
I understand that you are studying Hebrew.
Yes.
Nelinka, why are you interested in studying Hebrew?
Me and my sister both study Hebrew, and it's a
Well,
very
she goes to a Jewish school.
Yeah, of course. I study in my own free time, and I'm very interested in languages as a whole, but Hebrew is a very important language to me.
Why?
Because it was nearly a dead language, and then it was reborn, and now the modern Hebrew is a very, I feel like it carries a lot of heritage, and to better
Is
understand.
heritage important to you?
Yes, it is very important to me. I feel like carrying on the traditions and customs of Judaism is very important because people nowadays tend to kind of part ways with religion and part ways with their customs. But I feel like keeping it, passing it on, especially with Judaism, because of what happened in history, is very important. So
I think it is important for the Jewish people to remain.
Yes.
Hitler wanted to erase us,
Yes.
Right now, Iran wants to take off the map, the state of Israel. Have you been to Israel?
Yeah, I've been twice, and I'm going again in 1 week.
to Pesach.
So
She's going.
yes,
Wow. You're going for Pesach.
yes.
Isn't that where you're going to stay?
I'm going to stay in Jerusalem. I'm going to be attending a Seder dinner in Jerusalem, so it's going to be very.
But by whom? Do you have friends in Israel?
This is via a community there. It's like a Seder dinner done by an agency, but yes, we also have friends. And
are you going to Israel on your own? You decided you want to go. You go with a group by yourself.
I'm going on my own.
On your own. Has your sister been to Israel?
Yes, my sister has also been.
Wow, you're 12. You were there already.
Yes.
I have to ask you, Violeta.
Yes.
I can't see you, Violeta. Were you in Israel? Have you been?
Sure, a lot, and I were with them also, and also I was there to visit some wedding, and because my friends had their big wedding of his niece, like we were there. It was very nice, but we were also together. We like to visit Israel, and also our cousin lives, also cousin of Jose, lives in Haifa.
In Haifa. Tell me, what is the relationship between the Czech Republic and Israel? Do they have ambassadors? Is there an Israeli ambassador in the Czech Republic?
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, and we also, Czech Republic has an embassy in Jerusalem, which not all countries have.
In Jerusalem or in Tel Aviv?
In Jerusalem, which is a very important factor.
Are you sure?
Yes.
The Czech Republic has an embassy in Jerusalem. There are very few countries that have their embassies.
One of few, our president recognized Jerusalem as the capital city of Israel, which not a lot of countries have done. So there's a very good relationship between Israel and the Czech Republic.
So,
tell me, why do you think that the Czech people are really inclined to democracy, while you see in other countries in the region, Slovaks and so on? Right now we have a war in Ukraine. I don't want to go into that, because right now we all feel for the Ukrainian people. But on the other hand, we also know that some of the worst guards in the concentration camps were Ukrainian, unfortunately. But these are other Ukrainians today. I don't want to blame them, but they have a history. What the Czech people are always freedom loving. Why are you different from the others? Manishtana. This is a question you ask on Pesach. Why is this different? Why are the Czech people different? Masaryk, I remember names in Czech Republic, without being Czech, obviously.
There was a very difficult period when in the German occupation in when the Sudets were taken by Germans, and there was we didn't want to fight back essentially, or we didn't fight back. And I feel like right now we're kind of reflecting on that history and trying to better ourselves. I don't feel like Slovakia is necessarily not democratic, because we were one for a very long time, and we went through this communist period together. So I feel like they have a very similar mindset to us. But yes, I feel like this need for freedom stems from our history.
Well, you see, there's Poland, Russia, they don't distinguish themselves for democratic values, yet the Czech people do. Some, and they're very industrious also. You have a lot of industries. There used to be, I think, a very important before the war textile industry in then Czechoslovakia. I don't know if it was called Czechoslovakia then, but today it's, of course, the Czech Republic. What do you think is the future of the Jews? Is there anti-Semitism in the Czech Republic, in Prague? Do you feel any anti-Semitism?
I personally don't feel any anti-Semitism. Sometimes, personally, to me, jokes are made, but they're kind of like, they're this part of culture already, and the Czechs have a very interesting sense of humor, so like a very dark one. So sometimes jokes may be made, but not necessarily anti-Semitism against me personally.
Violeta, you are a professional, you're a lawyer, you know what's going on in the Jewish community. Tell me, do Jews feel at all discriminated in the Czech Republic?
It's lucky, I think that no. I have to say really that I am very active in this community when they need to help with legal cases.
You're a lawyer.
Yes, I don't know about cases which are really on the basis discrimination. Yeah, it's lucky. Yeah. But it's true that this question, nobody knows what is coming in the future. It's for Jews. It's 2000 years is question what is coming. Yeah. It's important is the reason why is for us, for everybody, important is that Israel. Israel, it means for us a lot, for everybody.
Very well said, because had there been a state of Israel during the Second World War, I don't say that nothing would have happened, but it would have been different. The former prime minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, had an older brother, Jonathan, that died in Entebbe, which is thousands of miles away, because an Air France airplane, I think it was sequestered there, and they divided the people among Jews and non-Jews, and they sent somebody to rescue them. So Israel is very important. But do you think there's future for the Jewish community in Prague right now? Or is there a lot of assimilation?
Yes, it's true that assimilation, but it's true that this generation, I mean that they will continue in the same situation, same like looks now. Many young people are going to synagogue. It's true that is till yet is Jewish community in Prague more Orthodox. But it's true that is also here active also the reform part. Yeah, it's true also. And in Prague are living a lot of people from Israel. They are very successful in their business. But it's true they are not going to synagogue. I was surprised. Yesterday I spoke with chairman of Jewish community. It's Magister Banaev. He is preparing to answer you email question. If you would like to have from him his address, I can give you. And
please do.
I will send you. And he is preparing to answer you some question about Jewish community, if you would like. Yeah. And it's true that he told me that that I was surprised that many people from Israel who are living here are not going to synagogue in Prague. Yeah, in Jewish there are Jews. Yeah. It's true. It's interesting because maybe they are together, maybe, but they are not going a lot. A lot are not going to synagogue in Prague.
You know, many an Israeli maybe feels the fact that he lives in Israel, that makes him Jewish. He breathes the air of Israel. The Talmud says, by the way, Ar'a, avira de Ar'a machkim. The air of Israel makes you smarter. They think, you know, with that, they fulfilled it. And sometimes they are not the best example for Jews living elsewhere. Tell me, does the embassy of Israel in Prague, do they help the Jewish community? Do you feel you have a relationship with the embassy?
They have very nice relationship. Yeah, it's true. They are together very close. Yeah, it's both for parties. How Nelinka told you, that is really the relationship between Czech Republic and Israel is close, and it's true also that our president has very good contact with Israel.
Yes, and
tell me, Nelinka, you're closer to age, in age to me. You know, we are the same generation. Maybe we need a little 70 years difference in between, but more or less the same. What is your feeling about education, Jewish education? Do you think that is the answer to assimilation, more Jewish education, teaching them Hebrew, teaching them about the holidays, and above all, not only teaching, but afterwards practice it, no? What are you thinking?
I feel like
How
there's
can we fight assimilation, do you think?
there's a lot of assimilation in the Czech Republic. I feel like that comes from the fact that there are a lot of intermarried couples, and kids have a lot of assimilation. They go to normal schools or like regular schools in the Czech Republic, and people from around them learn from them a lot. For example, I try to spread knowledge in my class. There's one of my friends is also partially Jewish, so we try to educate our classmates in a nice way, and they're open to it. So I feel like there is a lot of assimilation, and learning Hebrew is a thing that somebody has to be very open to, because it's...
And also you have heard that Stalinka is going to really Jewish school, and she can tell you how looks in the school, in this Lauder school.
Okay, Nelinka, tell me something about school.
We learn about Jewish history, Jewish holidays, and more. We learn Hebrew and all around it, and we really are connected to Jewish history and community.
Can I ask you something? Do you get lunch in school?
Yes, we have a kosher.
It's kosher.
Yes, yes.
Tell me, how come you speak English so well? I presume you speak Czech too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. But how do you speak English so well? You took English in school, what?
I've learned, I've been to a British school, so I've learned their English.
את מדברת עברית? את מבינה עברית? כן או לא?
כן.
מבינה קצת או הרבה?
קצת.
You're there too. Very good. You know, many people think that the best way to fight assimilation really is through education. Now, years ago in the United States, there used to be afternoon schools. You know, you went to public school and then you went to a Jewish school for 2 hours a day, 3 times a week, something like that. And then the day schools, like a Jewish school, started big in the United States. So most of those that want tradition go to those schools. But yet, in a number of places, once again, there are classes given to students that go to a regular school 2, 3 times a week about Jewish traditions, Hebrew. Do you have something like that in Prague? Do you have classes for those that go to a regular school that want to know a little more?
We have Hebrew classes, and there are also classes.
Where do you have the Hebrew classes?
I have it in a private language school, but there's also Ulpan, which teaches.
Who sponsors the Ulpan?
It's sponsored, I believe, by the Jewish community partially.
And the Jewish community.
Yes, and there's also for the holidays there are some workshops done by the Jewish community. For example, for Hanukkah, there's a donut baking workshop and things like that. So I wouldn't say they're like educational lessons, but there are a lot of workshops and Hebrew lessons and stuff like that.
We have
Do you know what Chabad is? Chabad, Lubavitch, do you know that word? Chabad?
It's here in Prague.
You have that in Prague?
It's also.
Violeta, there is?
Yes, it's also.
Do they give classes or anything like that?
Oh no, it's not normal. This also, like Nelinka told you, that is not a regular school, but it is a little bit similar like in US. It means after the school is this.
I see. Very good. So would you like to live in Israel?
That's a very good question. I thought about it. I thought about studying in Israel, but I decided to stay here with my family because it's just a better.
Can I ask you an indiscreet question? You know, your sister, I could ask her, how old are you?
I'm 18.
Oh, yeah. You have many, many more years.
Yes, it's a lot of possibility. She both have a lot of, not time, but the possibility to decide what they would like to do.
You know, when Joseph was in Egypt, he became very important, second to Pharaoh. So they paraded him through the streets and they cried out in front of him, Avrech. That must be an Egyptian word, Avrech. Maybe it means prince, God knows what. Our rabbis say that is really composed of 2 words. Av, which is father, and Rach, which means is still very young. So they said like this, he was Av in mentality. He was like a father with his mind, but in age, he was very young. That's what you are, Nelinka. You're Avrech. Your mind works very well. You're still very young. You have many years to decide. And what do you visit other communities in Europe? Czech Republic is in the middle of everybody. Do you ever go to Budapest?
Yes, we've been to Budapest, to the largest synagogue, and we've also been to a very delicious restaurant in the Jewish quarter in Budapest.
Anna.
Yeah.
Anna.
Yeah. We had shawarma, and yeah, it was very yummy.
And there's the Dohain Utza. That's where the great synagogue was. That was the largest synagogue many years ago. Yeah. But I want to, unless you want to tell me something, I want to say that a very important rabbi, the Maharal, Rabbi Lev, lived in Prague many years ago, and they say that in the attic he had a golem, some kind of creature that defended the Jews and so on. And to this day, some people say, I was in Prague many years ago. I told them, don't go up to the attic.
You need to come and you will see personally how works the life in Jewish community.
Well, I would love to come. I would love to come. Now that I have, is this an invitation to come? You're telling me I should come?
Yes.
Is there a kosher restaurant in Prague?
Yes, there is.
It's kosher hotel. Also
kosher hotel also.
Kosher hotel has also mikvah. Everything.
And mikvah, everything.
In the hotel is awesome. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I want to thank, is there anything you want to add to our conversation by any chance? Violeta, you want to say something? Or we just hope to see each other, not through Zoom, but to see each other physically in the not too distant future. So I want to wish you health, because right now there's a pandemic going on in the world. To all 3 of you and to your family and to the Jewish community in Prague, of course, And since we are only days away before Pesach, I want to wish you a very happy holiday of Pesach, where we remember that those that gave the first cry of liberty were really our ancestors in Egypt when they broke the chains of slavery so many years ago. Thank you very much for accepting this
Thank you,
invitation.
and we wish
God
you
bless
and
you.
Thank you.
we wish you and also for your family.
Thank you so much. Hold it. I don't want to forget my young friend. What is your name again?
Stella.
I don't
Stella.
hear it. How do you spell that?
Stella.
Oh, Stella. Oh, there's a beer. Stella beer. I think it comes from Czechoslovakia.
You see?
Come to think of it, Stella beer. I won't forget your name, Stella. Okay, great to see you all. And
Great to
God
see you.
bless you all.
Look at. I hope that next year they will go with me to visit Miami, and I hope that we will meet you with both. We will visit you.
Definite. It's a date. It's a date.
Okay.
Stay well.
Thank
Great
you very
talking
much.
to all
Bye
of you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Have a nice day.